Yo, Ted. Yo, what's up? Long time no see. So today I would like to give you guys a short educational lesson on what neutral is or how to play neutrals. It's more sort of a neutral guide. This get also quite asked quite a lot. So I want to make a short video on how to neutral or what is even neutral, how you should play neutral, and basically give you a lesson on that, right? So neutral is basically like you can categorize melee into three different phases, right? We have neutral, then we have the punish game, and then we have the edge guard sequence. So there's like three main categories you can put this game into. So neutral is basically if I throw the move, and let's say I use this very standard common now, and neutral is what your opponent's response is for your move. It doesn't matter if it's a baker, can be an air, can be whatever. This is like the neutral. So you throw an option and you just take a look at what your opponent is doing to that option, and that's neutral develops from there. You will hear a lot of times rock, paper, scissors, level 1 mix-up, level 2 mix-up. These are like the most common terms when commentators talk about neutral. But what is all that? So after that, let's say you get your opening, can be a knockdown, can be a storm, can be a grab. From here, neutral is over. Then it goes to punish game. So this is after that, this punish game. Punish game means, for example, tech chase, you go for reads. You punish your opponent as good as possible until you get him off stage. And once you have him off stage, then we go to the last phase, which is like edge guarding. So these are like the three main phases. I made videos on edge guard, I made videos on I made pretty much videos for everything, but I don't have any video explaining or breaking down to you what neutral is about. So I have a very simple example. This is like very natural. So if we take a look, this is very natural, right? A Falcon is dash dancing and it's like, all right, let me just throw it in there. Because the first lesson, I think, or the first thing that Falcon mains learn, which is kind of like meh, is that Falcon nair is broken and they will spam nairs and they will approach with nairs. So the most natural response, so now we're going into neutral, right? So the most natural response for your opponent is if they also decide to dash dance, they will do something on reaction to your attack, to your approach. And it can look, or it will probably look similar like this. So this is the most natural interaction. Both players are dash dancing, Falcon is approaching with an air, and your opponent's most natural response is just to try to whiff punish your landing location, which is this example. So neutral is, when you think about it, you are like, all right, if I use a nair here, my opponent will try to punish my whiff, punish my landing location, probably with a grab or whatever. This is like the level 1 state. So you can go ahead and say, all right, if I use that nair, my opponent will punish me. So I have to step it up for like level 2, let's say, right? So then you can abuse that information. This is what like neutral development is, in order to abuse that. And a very great example on breaking down how to play neutral is a Lord Stomp. So we abuse the fact that Fox or your opponent, our opponent, wants to whiff punish us, so we're baiting him into that. And a different mix-up on how to beat this is this one. So we obviously did the same approach because we expect our opponent to whiff punish our landing, and then we Lord Stomp over him. This is a very natural development of neutral, and this is how the meta develops over the years. People using one option, and the other side is trying to figure out what's the best response to your option. So now, if your opponent is good, if you play higher level and higher level, the level 1 mix-up stops to work. So this is the level 1 thing, but depends on what level you play, your opponent knows, and if you play someone for more than 1 game, 2 games, 10 games, your opponent will adapt. So what is the natural response to Fox? For Fox, he can, for example, now say, all right, he will Lord Stomp after landing, so I have to call out the Lord Stomp and get my own opening, and then the neutral changes again and develops where both players are changing. So it can look something like this. So Fox calling out Lord Stomp after the nair and placing an up smash there. So if you continue, you know, then it can change again. You know, it goes over and over, and then it becomes or can get into rock paper scissors kind of direction where both players are just always choosing a different option. When you're always choosing rock, they're choosing like paper, and you know, you can then if that doesn't work anymore, you can like do a different mix up, because you know you can like try to double jump, and then it gets complicated. So if you don't know how to play neutral, throw out your option and pay attention what your opponent's natural response is to your option. And it doesn't matter if it's Nair, if it's a Beggar, if it's this. Then you have to get creative and try to punish their response, basically. This is what neutral is about. That's really not that complicated. People always or sometimes make a very big science out of neutral, but then actually it's just responding to what your opponent does or to what you do, right? So this is like neutral. And after one of the sides gets an opening, like knockdown, grab, neutral is over. So you have to imagine it like a triangle. Let me try to explain it or to show it. So, or actually I can do it with paint, that doesn't matter. So, let me make it like this, then let's make it like this. Let's say black. So let's say, right, to make it like as simple as possible for you guys. Just so you guys understand the three parts. That's why I wanna. So that's why it's like very good. So, all right, something like this, right? And then let's say, can I draw lines? I can draw lines. So like three parts, right? It's just doesn't have to be super accurate, but it's actually very helpful if you take a look at this like that. So we have neutral, then we have the punish game, right? And then we have edge guard. So if you look at this like this, like a three-phase thing, right? Like this. You as a player, if you like, because I get a lot of DMs, even from Falcon mains, Math mains, Fox mains, watching the channel, learning and grinding, and usually this is like Falcon channel, but it doesn't matter. This the principle you can apply in every matchup, and you have to think about it as in this sort of shape. So let's say you grind only punish game. You only grind punish game. That means you fill out this space extremely well, but then maybe your neutral and your edge guard is not that good. In my personal opinion, you should focus the most on the punish game. This is the most important. Because in theory, if you have, let's say, a 100% punish game, in theory, you need 4 openings for 4 stocks, assuming you edge guard correctly. So the key of every player should be to reduce the openings per kill. Let's say a different example. You grind only neutral, but you never practice punish game, right? And flowcharts and all that. So you will need more openings for a stock because your punish game is bad. So let's say you win 10 times neutral, but you only get 2 stocks. It's just, alright, your neutral might be good, but your punish game is probably very bad, or your edge guarding game. So you have to always try to find the right balance. I would say that almost on any level you will get at least 4, 5, 6 openings with your like mid-level. So it's actually very important to put in a lot of hard work into the punish game, because you don't need many openings if you're on point and if you're very clean. This whole thing changes when you're playing a floaty, because let's say if you play against Peach, your punish game will most of the time just be up airs or nairs, and you get your opponent off stage. So you will have a really hard time to edge guard Peach, for example, or Puff, due to the fact that they can stay off stage for 10 minutes. So there you might want to focus on neutral and edge guard most, because your punish game, it is also important, but you won't really get much after a down throw, like up air, nair, up there, some stuff like that, compared to if you play against the Fox and you find the grab. If you're 100% clean, Woozy level, Tuss level, you won't let him get up ever again. You tech chase him, you get him off stage, so you want to focus on punish game and edge guard there, and not that much on neutral, if that makes sense. You just have to have a few neutral openers in order to get your knockdown or grab, so you can apply your edge guard in your punish game. So this is very, very important to understand this sort of three-phase thing. And if you struggle to play or to beat certain people, you should rewatch the VODs and pay attention on how many openers do you need for a kill. Do you always need 3 openings for a stocks or 4? Then you have to work very hard to reduce that number. Right? Pay attention to how good is your punish game, how good is your neutral game, how good is your edge guard game. And neutral, as I said, is adaptation, natural responses, and also theory. You just learn over the course of time. Alright, if Math uses a down tilt, he will most of the time use a second down tilt or dash back. So you know, aha, the best option for me is to stomp or overshoot or something. You know, stuff like that. Same with Fox, playing against Fox. You will notice when you play Fox yourself, his dash short of nair range, it's so short. That's why Lord Stomp is so good in this matchup. So you kind of like force your opponent to punish your Lord Stomps in order to for him to avoid it. Because Lord Stomps, then you can 0 to death over and over. So I hope this small video helped you to understand the 3 phases of the gameplay, which are very important, and try to find the correct balance. And obviously, in my personal opinion, punish is the most important thing. I think this is also why Wizzy is the #1 Falcon rank-wise, because he has the best punish in every matchup. He will get the most out of a knockdown or grab compared to the other Falcons. In comparison, none might win neutral 20 times because he's a genius in neutral. But he always goes for reads, and so his number, he needs more openings for a stock than Wizzy, because Nunn's number for openings per kill will only be low if he gets every read correctly, and mathematically speaking, that's just not a long-term solution, because reads have like a 30% chance or 33% chance, depending on the situation, right? Their option coverages, concepts and stuff like that, but you have to like really sit down, watch your games, and make some decisions where you want to actually improve most. And yeah, I would recommend hard punish game, hard. This is like, you will benefit the most out of this one. So let's say you play against a player who is very bad at neutral, but his punish game is very strong. This player won't need many neutral openings. So always be creative, you know. Leave a like, leave a comment. I will probably analyze the tipped off sets in the future. And have a nice day as always, guys. Bye bye.